In high-conflict breakups, the dynamic sometimes shifts instead of ending entirely. An ex-partner might recruit their new romantic partner to carry out a campaign of social manipulation, using them as a shield to maintain plausible deniability while continuing the harassment. These actions serve a specific psychological purpose, triggering a reactive collapse. The instigator is pushing for the exact moment you explode emotionally. They achieve this through subtle, deniable patterns. You might notice targeted indirect quotes on social media, whisper campaigns spreading through your friend group, or manufactured coincidences where they repeatedly show up at your locations. When you try to explain these subtle patterns to others, you often end up looking hyper-focused or unstable, which inadvertently validates the attacker's narrative. Because public opinion is so easily manipulated in these moments, your safety depends on a personal protection protocol rather than an external defense. Step 1 is the information blackout. Your immediate priority is to halt all outward defensive communication. You must stop trying to explain your side of the story to hostile audiences and absolutely refuse to respond to implied attacks. Look at this split screen. This is how a provocation trap works. The instigator hides their initial attacks, so if you reply with a long, angry text message like we see on the left side, that reaction is the only thing preserved. By keeping the thread blank, as seen on the right, you neutralize the trap. You have to accept that not every false claim or manufactured crisis deserves access to your nervous system or your time. Maintaining strict silence cuts off the fuel supply. Without your reactions, the proxy system has no evidence to use against you. Step 2 is establishing a quiet documentation log. This creates a grounded record of reality, which is critical if you need to prepare for official disputes in family court or with HR. Set up a secure spreadsheet with 4 columns: date and time, incident description, provable facts, and witnesses or screenshots. Let's log an example. If the proxy appears at your events, log the exact time and location, recording only what can be proven. There is a strict boundary here. You are logging incidents that intrude on your life. You are not actively seeking out the proxy's social media for new things to document. Structuring your documentation this way transfers the conflict out of your anxious mind and onto paper. Chaotic, unpredictable threats become organized, predictable data points. Step 3 is the 4-question reality filter. This is your emergency response tool whenever a new provocation or implied attack happens. Proxy tactics are designed to blur the line between what you know and what you suspect, which creates paranoia and confusion. To counter this, open a digital notepad, like this one, and confront 4 specific questions. What do I know? What am I assuming? What is provable? And what is emotional interpretation? Do not just run through these in your head. Physically type or write out the answers. Forcing your brain to complete this structured cognitive exercise interrupts emotional flooding. It stops physiological fear from overriding your logic. Step 4 is the nervous system safety plan. Surviving a prolonged smear campaign requires treating the stress as an actual physiological injury. The nervous system processes social rejection using the same neural pathways that register physical pain. Your body perceives social exile as a literal survival threat. To counteract this alarm, focus on a biological safety checklist: sleep, hydration, exercise, therapy, and breathwork. Proactively schedule at least 2 of these biological regulators into your daily routine to force your nervous system to cool down. Experiencing hypervigilance, insomnia, or anxiety under these conditions is a standard biological response to chronic threat. Caring for your physical body is a required defensive tactic, not a luxury. Now that your defenses are in place, we have to acknowledge the hardest truth of proxy warfare. You may never receive closure or a confession from people who use drama as a lifestyle. These high-conflict systems require a perpetual enemy to maintain their cohesion. Without a reactive target to fight, the system falls apart. Your goal is to build quiet credibility. Over time, your consistency, calm documentation, and emotional discipline will naturally outlast their manufactured chaos. Notice how the person in this sequence moves. They keep walking forward in a clear environment, ignoring the blurred, chaotic movements in their peripheral vision. You have to maintain your trajectory while letting their provocations pass by unnoticed. Real victory comes from maintaining your boundaries and refusing to let the conflict transform you into evidence against yourself. By holding on to your identity, you deny the system its final goal.